From the mountaintops to the ocean floor, I'm gonna spread my wings, so just watch me soar.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Farah and welcome to another episode of Inspire Her TV. Love is something that's important to most of us and can be considered a basic and fundamental need of all humans. If you're still searching for that special someone, or have them in your life already, but want practical tips on keeping that special bond, then this just might be the episode for you. Joining us today, we have Rozah Krogh, aka the Love Coach. She's a mother of 4, a published author and an NLP practitioner. Let's welcome her to the conversation. Ernie, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
You know I've been wanting to speak to you about your book for a little while, so we're looking forward to having this conversation today.
Yes, absolutely.
So, like I said, we will discuss your new book, so The Architect of Love, Your Perfect Relationship starts here in a second.
Yes.
But what I wanted to speak to you first was, earlier on in your career, you actually focused on belly dancing therapy.
Yes.
For mums and mums-to-be.
Yes.
Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, women in general, but it started off as, I came from a background as an entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing entertaining, I was actually a belly dance performer and artist. I was doing a lot of dancing shows.
Okay.
But when I was pregnant, I had severe sciatica.
Okay.
That was so debilitating, I could barely walk, and if I slipped a little bit, it would hurt my back so badly. And chiropractors and massage therapists, I would see, physios and all that. It didn't really work. So a chance conversation with another belly dancer who actually had severe injuries from a road accident, we kind of said, maybe we should change the way we dance, the way we hold our bodies, and that was how my belly dance therapy was born. And then I realized at the same time, when I teach my classes, 80-90% of the women in my class were just ordinary women like you and me.
Yeah.
They were not looking to be a belly dancer on stage.
Yeah.
They just want to feel good about their body.
Yes.
And then I realized that if I change the way I speak, if I change my words, I can hypnotize them into making their bodies do things they didn't think was possible.
Wow. And I can imagine the level of confidence that they would have increased.
Yes, I mean, imagine from the first class, everybody was kind of very shy.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody thinks I'm so whatever, insert word, fat, chubby, chunky, whatever. They all look in the mirror and say, that's me. But they don't realize every woman in that room is saying exactly the same thing about themselves in the mirror.
Exactly.
So I don't think I want to change that.
Wow.
I want them to look in the mirror and go, oh, I'm the best woman out there in this world. I am the most amazing, beautiful woman in this room.
Such an empowering, seems like such a simple thing to do, but the impact is so massive. That's amazing. You've also managed to combine physical therapy and mental therapy quite well. What was that process like for you, and how has that served your clients?
Oh, what do you mean by what process? That's it.
So it's quite difficult. So a lot of people who do life coaching or areas in psychology kind of focus on that.
Yeah.
And the people that do physical therapy, where they're working with people with injuries or health issues, they kind of stick with that.
Yeah.
You've managed to combine the two. How did you come up to do that?
Okay, I was a competitive track and field athlete for about 10 years.
Okay.
Yes, and so I was representing school level, state level, inter-Asia and all that in athletics. So I'm not Usain Bolt. But of course, when you compete at that kind of level as a teenager, it is the highest level I can imagine. It comes with injuries and pain, and then you have to have a lot of mental focus. This is where NLP comes in, and I realized I was practicing NLP at that age, that visualization technique at the same time. But I come from a family of healers too. My whole family were all healers as in physical therapy. They use massage to heal. Yes. So I grew up being so familiar with the human body because my mother would massage me when I was young, and then I learned the same technique from her. I took all my diplomas in all these things before, and then I realized that a lot of people needed, when they sit on my couch, when they lie down on my table with their, my shoulder ache, my body hurts or whatever, then I realized 60-70% of the people that come into my therapy room actually have other issues that cause all these pains. And that's what got me interested to actually deepen my interest in psychology and and mental health therapy.
And from that, then you was able to provide like a holistic service.
Yes.
And what was that like for clients to experience? Because it's quite a unique
service.
Alhamdulillah,
it's all been really good. A lot of them, because before I start my massage therapy, for example, I do my coaching before. I will trance them. I will make them look in the mirror in their smalls, and we kind of
change how they see themselves in the head.
And then because the healing process on my table must begin before they sit down on the couch, on the massage table. It has to begin from there. They need to, when they lie down, they need to convince their body, we are going to heal you from inside out.
One of the things I actually love about you is you try at every turn to combine your passions. So you've done that really well in your latest book. Well, your first book actually.
Yes, my first book.
So your love for architecture. And your love for everything to do with love. Relationships.
I'm in love with love.
Right. You are the love coach after all. You've done that really well, and you've fused these two ideas of planning for your ideal home, very similar to planning for your ideal relationship. Tell us more about that and how they're so similar, in your opinion.
Actually, it's so many years ago, before I met my husband, I was in despair. I had a broken relationship that really broke me physically and emotionally and spiritually. And one night I prayed to God and I was crying. I got these ideas in my head to write down things that was the blueprint to finding my husband.
You've been married for 17 years now, so this is 18 years, so this is a while ago.
A while ago, I think about 2 or 3 years before I met my husband. I wrote the blueprint of how my perfect man, but my perfect husband would be like. My husband, nobody's perfect, of course. My husband is 90% perfect of what I wrote in my blueprint. And for me, that's as perfect as it can be, and I'm accepting of that. And so when we've been, we are expats, we travel around the world because of his job, we move around so much, and we've gone through a lot of heartache as a couple, financial distress, kids, depression, losing babies and things like that. People always ask us, how do you keep your marriage alive throughout all these upheavals? People want to know our secrets, because when we go out, my husband and I, we still look like we're dating. We don't look like we don't look like we are like mum and dad are four. So one day I said to my husband, I always wanted to write a book. I thought it was going to be a book about my belly dance therapy and for women, body issues and things like that. And then it just clicked to me again. I decided to write a book in November, December of 2015.
And what makes it so similar then to The House?
So because when I sat down with my husband thinking, I'm going to write a book, but we need to make it interesting. We need to make it something that will make people. If it's an idea that is a bit more concrete, it will stick in people's mind. And because we both love real estate development, when you build a home, you must have a good idea of what you want. Right? You can't just say, oh, I want nice walls. You can say, oh, is it going to be tiles? Is it going to be a wood? Is it going to be...
What kind of colour?
And then for the floor too, do you want it to be parquet? Do you want it to be carpet? So all these things you need to be, otherwise your builder's not going to give you the right house. So I'm thinking it's the same with relationship and in life. If you do not know what you're looking for, you'll never find it.
100%. You just have to be really clear about what it is you're looking for.
So in a way, I feel to people, how when we talk about happily ever after, they go into their dream home, the prince and the princess. So for me, your home, your dream home is the partner. When they hug you, you are home. So you need to build them. You need to design in your head, who is this dream partner?
What does it practically look like?
Everything.
What's the blueprint that will make me happy? Sounds incredible. One of the things that I personally like about the book is you've discussed a lot about the need to focus on yourself first before you can really find the relationship that you're looking for. And you need to look at your past and, like you said, what you want for your future. How important was it for you to include that element of the story in this book?
I always say you cannot depend on anyone else to make you happy. I don't believe in this BS out there that, oh, you complete me. No. You complete yourself. You must come to someone, a whole sphere. Not half a sphere, not a crescent, not a three-quarter. There's no puzzle. You're not a puzzle. Right? So I said, when you're complete, you become that ball of light, that noor, that light that will shine to someone else. And when you meet someone else who's also a ball of light, imagine the explosion, that happiness you can give each other.
Who would you say the book's for?
I actually thought when I wrote this book, I wanted to write it for all my single friends.
Right.
After I released the book, I had a lot of married people buying my book, which I never thought was going to be my target market.
Yeah.
And a lot of them said, you know what, your book, actually, I wish we had read it before we got married, but now that we're married, we actually needed to be reminded of the language of love and the rules of love and the rules of relationship, because we don't just stop when we get married, is it? We're constantly learning. You need to keep updating, like a software. You're always having to update your software. So it's the same, you know, you need to keep updating your relationship in order to stay relevant to your partner.
Okay, so you are the love coach.
Yes.
You have been married for over 18 years. What would you say is your top 3 tips for someone in a relationship, like we said, maybe in a long-term marriage, and how they kind of like, maybe they're losing their connection or something? What would be your top 3 tips to kind of get that fire back?
The first rule, we never ever go to bed angry.
Right.
We always make sure that when we go to bed, something touch. Either we have hands, or our ankles cross, or our hips are touching. If it's too hot, we'll just tickle our toes to say, I'm here. Okay, because not going to bed angry goes back to my, one of my big things about communication, right? Is if you something that you're upset about, you need to thrash it out. Take it out and throw it out before you go to bed. Because a lot of couples, when I speak to them, you know, it continues the next day, and then it gets heavier and heavier, and it becomes a grudge, and then like, well, if you're not going to talk to me, you're not going to say sorry to me, I'm not going to, and then it becomes so petty. From something really small, maybe it's about, oh, you forgot to take the trash out or whatever, oh, you forgot the doctor's appointment, and then I wanted you to come with me, or something like that. So my husband and I always say, never ever go to bed angry. Do not ever think your children comes before your marriage.
Oh, I agree with that.
Now, let me explain that. A lot of people think, how could you say that? That's cruel. You're a mum. People have attacked me for this view.
Like that,
and let me explain. Unless it's got to do with your children's safety, their well-being in terms of like, you know, if your children are sick or something, of course it's very important. They're ill. But I always say, this is why my husband and I always have a date night once a week. Not once a month, not twice a month, every single week. Because a lot of couples, again, a lot of marriages start to kind of wane and dip. It's because everything is about the children. Mums will go out shopping for the most beautiful clothes for the children, and then she ends up wearing tatty dresses and, you know, her old bra, big granny pants, because she thinks, I'm not sexual anymore, I'm a mum. No, your husband still needs to see you as this beautiful, because science have proven, believe it or not, your husband, your partner will still see you the day they met you. They don't see you aging. They have interviewed lots of people in their 70s and 80s who are still married. If you ask the men, they don't see their woman as this wrinkly, old,
they still
droopy booby. No, they still see this 20-something girl that they fall in love with. Their memories don't change. If you have a positive relationship, that positive memory does not change. And the children, it's very important for the children to see that your commitment is still very important. They may go, oh, you're going out without me. But actually, now that my daughter is about 17 now, she wrote us a letter saying, I'm so glad our parents who still go on date nights, you have put me on such, like, you give me such high standards
of what a good relationship looks like.
And it's nice to see. So for me, at the same time, you need to strike a balance. For me, you need to be looking after number one first. You need to be selfish. To be a good mum, you have to be a great wife. To be a great wife, you need to be a great woman yourself.
You need to say that again, because I think enough women just don't take this message on.
Seriously. I mean, I always say to a lot of mums, you know, they say, oh, what's your secret? You're so happy that I said, I look after myself first. If I need to spend 15 minutes every morning putting on my makeup because that's my meditation.
And your third and final tip?
My third and final tip, this is an explosive one.
Okay.
Never underestimate the power of sex.
Okay, that makes sense,
I know it's very British, you know, we don't talk about sex.
I'm very Islamic as well.
I'm very Muslim. Exactly, you know, Islam. But think about it, you know, the Prophet actually, I mean, when I talk about sex, I'm not talking about the actual, you know, deep on the bed. But for me, sex also includes sensuality, spending time together. So for me, it's very important that you connect physically with your partner. Make time for sex. Everybody, again, when I talk about make time for dates, make it happen. And once, I know in the beginning it might seem a bit stiff and seem fake,
regimented,
but trust me, when I advise friends and couples and clients, it becomes a habit, and you do it. A habit becomes natural once you've done it 7 or 8 times.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so true.
Like any other habit, once you do it, you force yourself to do it. When you don't do it, the body will crave for it.
Yeah. No. Beautiful tips. I like all 3 of them. Thank you for being so honest as well, because we need that. We need to have those conversations. What's next for you then? So you've obviously, this book is very new.
Yes.
Only a few months published. What's next for you?
Oh my God, so many plans.
I can imagine.
I wanna infiltrate the world with love and happiness and kindness. I think it's to syndicate the book and sell it all over the world. Really get publishers all over the world picking up the book. And actually it was I went to a comedy store some time ago, and it was the comedian Adam Hill who actually kind of made me see something which I never saw. He had got the crowd to applaud me, and he said, because he was asking, what do I do? He was heckling me, like, oh, you're a love coach. Oh my God, you're a love coach. But he came up with the term love coach. I just said I do coaching on relationship and love. And he went, oh, well, you're a love coach. And I went, oh yeah, actually. And then later on, he asked, because of all the political stuff, he asked, any Jews in the house and any Muslims, and I went, yay, and I was the only one. And he went, oh my God, guys, we got to give this woman a big applause, a Muslim love coach.
With pink hair,
multicolored hair. And he said, and I was like, oh my God, am I going to be in trouble? Are they going to make fun of me? I was so embarrassed. And then he said, guys, you hear the word Muslim, it does not equal to love. It's always Muslim equals to terrorism. Now we have a new equation. Muslim equals to love. And I tell you, I almost cried. My husband hugged me. Oh my God, that's so sweet. And he said to me, I can't heckle this woman. She's a love coach and she's Muslim. Look at her. And I just went, you know what? At the end of the show, I hugged him and said, I never saw it that way. Because for me, I'm just me. I don't think of myself as a Muslim woman or an Asian or a mom. I'm just me. I don't have any term for myself. I'm just, this is who I am. But when he said, I thought, that's great. So I want to show the world that not all Muslims are terrorists. We can share love. We can share beautiful things. So that's actually my next step.
Amazing.
To create more conversations, to create more awareness. Like you have Muslim mothers who just want the same thing for the children as any other person in the world out there.
One thing I wanted to ask about the book as well, the other thing I wanted to ask was, what was the most challenging thing about writing this book for you? And what would be your advice to would-be authors out there?
Okay. The most challenging thing is I set myself an impossible deadline to write this book.
Okay.
I wanted to write it in 6 months.
Wow.
And I found a publishing house, and the editor was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because we have never heard of anyone writing a non-fiction in 6 months. So so I said, okay, how about we'll make it 8 months? And then they still laugh. I go, okay, we'll support you if you really want to make it 8 months. But I told myself at the same time, that's just a goal I gave myself.
Right.
No one is chasing me. It was just something I gave myself a goal, so that in the end we finished it in 10 months.
Okay, not bad.
And this is how, what happened is I hired a writing, an editorial coach. So once a week we would meet on Skype and she'll ask me, what have you done this week? And I'm like, oh, I didn't really do much. So I feel guilty. Having a coach means that I am now responsible to someone else to answer questions, right?
You're being held
Exactly. I mean, coaches be coaches too.
That's one of the main things, right?
We need to be accountable to someone else. Even writing a fiction book, I said, how I started off years ago was I joined lots of writing circle.
Right, yeah.
When I used to just love writing fiction stories or just maybe like, like a blog. Yes. Before blogs became famous, like 15 years ago, I would join writing circles and just let everybody else read your writing and then we critique each other with, not in a negative way. A lot of people think, critique, I'm so scared to be criticized.
You need it.
It comes from a place of love, It's like, you want to be successful, let me see what I can do. Sometimes people have ideas that you might not think of.
Exactly.
Yeah, and just go out there and just hustle and don't be afraid of fulfilling your dreams, because it's a very competitive industry, not many publishers want to take on books these days, but the good thing is you have Amazon now. Anybody can be an author. You have iBooks. You may not sell the books in the millions like Harry Potter or J.K. Rowling, but who cares? If your dream is to be an author and you want your story out in the world today, go for it.
It's more than it's easier than ever.
Exactly. Do not let anyone tell you that you can't. I always say that. You know what? You are your own competitor. You know, you are the one who can make your dreams come true. No one else in this world. So if someone else can see that you believe in it, they might want to make it happen for you.
Exactly. I love it. Thank you so much. No, it's so inspirational, because I think things like writing a book or starting your own business, or you know, all these different goals that we all have, we sometimes just do need to sit down and speak to someone that's done it, or just find out how they did it, for us to know what is, you know, achievable for me as well. Who inspires you?
Like, you know, with the love and the kindness and the compassion, it's definitely my late grandmother. She adopted my mom when my mom was a little baby. She's this Indonesian woman who always says, who gave me one of my life lessons from her was, if you see a fire, don't put more oil to it. Throw water.
Do something
So in the sense that if you see a fight or an argument with people, put it out for them. Be the water that calms the situation down. Don't be the fire starter that makes things worse. And she was like the most animal friendly. Our home was like a halfway house to anybody who needed love. Whatever, you know, they could be a non-Muslim, they could be a non-Indonesian or non-Malay or whatever race. People can just come to my home, and there's like a little cabin outside our garden. She would look after anyone. If they had problems with their family, having emotional issues, whatever, she became like the grandmother to the whole community. And our community is very mixed culture, so there's lots of people who are not just from our culture, like not just Muslim or Indonesian or Malay. So I can see that. So I wanted to be like her. I wanted to just share all that love, because I know we have so much capacity. The more we love, the more we have. Another one is Oprah Winfrey. I'd love to be Oprah Winfrey.
Comes up quite
I want to be a talk show host like her. You know, you get a car. I want to give people lots of gifts too. Another one is oh my God. Every woman I meet, it's so hard to choose one. Every woman I've met have had stories that will make me just shed a tear and go, wow, we are all capable of being so much more than we imagine. You know, I mean, I can't name them, otherwise I will go on and on.
No, your grandma sounds incredible, and Oprah Winfrey, I share that.
Everybody knows Oprah Winfrey, but nobody knows my grandmother.
She sounds like an incredible woman, though.
Yeah, you would love her, but
Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, so just before you go, we're going to do a quick fire round where we're going to ask you a few questions. Just a few of them. So, are you okay with that?
Okay.
Okay, so, breakfast or no breakfast?
Not really breakfast.
Okay. Would you like to build? I think you kind of done this actually. Would you like to build or design your own home?
Both. Can I design it?
Yeah, would you like to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. What makes you sad?
What makes me sad? Oh my God, I'm such an emotional person. Everything I see can make me cry.
Your face just changed.
I know. Anything. Stories of racism, hatred, seeing an animal in distress, anything, just the humanity issues can make me sad, because if I feel like, oh, no one is helping, oh my God, I will just cry. I can.
No. Are you a good liar?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because I know how people lie, I can see it because of my work. My children knows, oh my God, we can never lie. Mommy knows everything. I can just spot lie. But that also means I know how to not do it.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know how to avoid.
I call it white lie. A halal lie. It's like you tell your kids, oh no, that is very spicy, don't eat that.
Don't eat that.
It's just mums.
Okay. Can you roll your tongue? Wow, you can! Wow.
My husband can flip his tongue, my kids can do roll and flip.
No, because from YouTube, so...
So I can roll my tongue.
That's it. So thank you so much for being here with us today.
I absolutely enjoyed
myself.
Such
a pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of people reading this book and benefiting, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That was the end of another episode of Inspire Her TV. In the comments below, share with us what your biggest takeaway was from today's show. Until next time, stay inspired.